All right, we'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. Ms. Sheldon, will you call the roll for us, please?
Mayor Holly Berry.
Here.
Vice Mayor Stephanie Dalton.
Here.
Commissioner Jamie Fairbanks Harvey.
Here.
Commissioner Pete Phillips.
Here.
Commissioner Haynes Wilkerson.
I'm here.
For today's invocation, please join me in a moment of silence to reverently collect our thoughts, pray, and ready ourselves for this meeting and the duties to which we have been called. Thank you. Mr. Granum, will you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. First on our agenda is consideration of the minutes for approval or correction for the October 17th, 2023 work session. Any corrections? No. If not, do I have a motion to approve as written?
Motion.
We have a motion from Commissioner Phillips and a second from Vice Mayor Dalton.
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have the minutes for the October 17th, 2023 commission meeting. Any corrections? If not, do I have a motion to approve as written?
I'll approve.
We have a motion from Commissioner Fairbanks Harvey. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
We have a second from Commissioner Wilkinson. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. For my mayor's report today, I wanted to let everybody know that the next Red Bank Community Food Pantry will be the last before Thanksgiving. It is Thursday, November 16th from 4:30 to 6 p.m. This is one of the busiest days of the year for them. The last pickup before Thanksgiving, of course, and the last pickup before Christmas, they're probably going to be slammed with people coming. So please consider volunteering if at all possible. Consider donating monetary or food donations to that food pantry. They serve a lot of clients. And we have a food donation drop-off location in front of City Hall for the entire month of November. You can drop it off during City Hall business hours, or if you happen to find yourself at the community center for an event, there is a drop point there as well. If you're interested in volunteering, you can find a link to their sign up genius at redbankfoodpantry.org. Last week, I attended the annual Thrive Regional Partnership Annual Conference and heard from many experts in the fields of parks, trails, transportation, broadband, and more. We're very lucky to have an organization like Thrive that takes a regional and collaborative approach to improving the quality of life for those in the tri-state area. Next, we have a report from Vice Mayor Dalton.
Thank you, Mayor. Happy Native American Heritage Month and also National Adoption Month. This year's annual Red Bank Community Fair at the Red Bank High School was a great success. A special thank you to Dr. Matt Johnson for putting together yet another incredible event. Thank you to our Red Bank employees for showing up, as well as all the colleges, businesses, nonprofits, and social support agencies that showed up for our families and neighbors and connected with hundreds of our residents. As the District 3 Tennessee Municipal League Board Director, I recently attended our quarterly TML board meeting in Nashville. Among other things, we approved initiatives that TML will advocate for on behalf of member cities, including continued efforts towards state shared sales tax and single article cap legislation, and new efforts toward a law that would allow incentives for affordable housing development. And you can read a little bit more about that. There was a Times Free Press article today. I'm also excited to announce that I'll be serving alongside several of my fellow municipal officials on the new TML Visioning Committee, and we'll be meeting early next year to discuss and collaborate on a 2040 vision plan for TML. Even if you attended a community feedback meeting on the school facilities proposal, but especially if you didn't, please fill out the online survey to provide your comments, questions, and concerns on this proposal. This is the Hamilton County Schools survey. You can find the link on my Facebook page or the Alpine Crest Elementary PTA page. And also mark your calendars for November 20th and November 27th at 6 p.m. as the Hamilton County School Board will hold their facilities committee meetings to have their first in-depth conversations on this proposal. And in consultation with MTAS, Commissioner Fairbanks Harvey and I are also working on a Red Bank community questionnaire on this proposal, specifically as it relates to keeping an elementary school within city limits. So please look for an announcement on this, hopefully in the next few days. I recently met Pastor David Russell and his wife, Missy, and I would like to welcome them and their new church, Rise Church, to the Red Bank community. They hold service out of Red Bank Middle School on Sundays at 10:30 a.m. The City of Red Bank's second annual open house is happening tomorrow night. I don't want to steal Miss Sheldon's thunder because she will be presenting on this shortly, but I just did want to say that I'll be volunteering alongside staff to help folks fill out tax relief applications. So please come on down between 4 and 6 p.m. and let any of your neighbors know who might also need help with this. On November 9th, a portion of the proceeds from all sales at Be Caffeinated will go to support Climb and Place. They are a local nonprofit that provides a support system and resources for military veterans. So please get out on the 9th and buy some coffee to help support local veterans. And on that note, happy early Veterans Day to all who have served, including 21 of our incredible Red Bank employees who have served in the Air Force Reserve, the Army Reserve, the Marine Corps, the National Guard, and the Navy. We are so grateful for you and your service to our community and our country. Thank you.
Next, we have our report from Commissioner Fairbanks Harvey.
Hello, Red Bank. Thank you for allowing me the privilege to have served as a Red Bank Commissioner for the first year. It's a responsibility I take seriously to communicate with so many residents and work alongside the colleagues here and staff and attend meetings. Congratulations to Coach Ted Gatewood, his coaching staff and players, and our illustrious MCs who hang out the window and ring bells. And yeah, they're in it. So be there this Friday at 7 o'clock as our Red Bank Lions face Macon County at 7 o'clock. Go Lions. Vice Mayor Dalton and I will be collaborating with MTAS, as she mentioned, to create a survey for concerned residents toward the proposed school mergers. So stay tuned as this is unveiled. Open house tomorrow. I'll leave it at that. Next Listen and Learn will be held Monday, January 15th, taking this month and December off. Get back to it in January. This is the 50th year of the Chattanooga's National Cemetery that memorializes those who have fought in wars and their spouses. The program Wreaths Across Chattanooga is ongoing at various locations. Let's help supply wreaths for each grave. That's close to 50,000 in our national cemetery. It's $10 a wreath. The Red Bank Christmas Parade is only a few weeks away, Friday, December 1st from 4 to 9. Vendors, entertainment, food trucks. Santa Claus will highlight this festive event. The parade will commence at 7 with bands, community churches, organizations, and businesses to celebrate our season for Red Bank residents and visitors. Make plans to attend. And lastly, voter registration deadline. It's coming up with a vote in March. The deadline is February 5th, 2024. Early voting will be February 14th. Do that before you go out to dinner until Tuesday, February 27th. And absentee voting is December 6th to February 27th. Thank you.
Next, we have our report from Commissioner Phillips.
Boy, they all prepare a lot. And thank you. Really, I just want to give a shout out to our volunteer committees. Like I said, when we thought, many hands lighten the load, I didn't know we had such high quality hands. I mean, the work that Don and Larry's done on the cemeteries, and and then Peg with the and also you, Commissioner, they on the Christmas parade. And, you know, I'm sure they're still taking sponsorships, right? So anything we can do on that to help that. It's and register for the parade. When does that all close?
Real soon, by the end of the month.
Okay.
It's soon in vendors, November 17th. And we need more vendors, got plenty of food trucks and activities.
And we'll make sure the mayor gets us great weather. She's done really well the last 3 years. So I appreciate it all, and you know, thank the staff and you know the commissioners over here. I see it's moving forward. In fact, it's exciting to see the stuff that's been done by the volunteers and the organization that has come to this through the leadership of our mayor and our city manager. So just to give big thanks. Appreciate it.
The season of gratitude. And last, our report from Commissioner Wilkinson.
Thank you, everybody, for being out here. I guess the downside of going last is that my list gets cleared out. Two minor things. I wanted to thank Nuga Lights and the Public Works in Red Bank for putting up some Christmas decorations already. Nuga Lights put them up at the community center and they look great. And then we see some decorations going up across town. There's a snowman right outside. It's very whimsical. I like it. Let me pull up my B list here. Sorry. They're at the recycling center. They are taking pumpkins for pigs. You can drop off your carved pumpkin or whatever kind of gourd you have and feed some pigs. The recycling center hours are Tuesday through Friday, 10 to 6, Saturday from 8 to 4. And they're taking pumpkins from October 31st to November 8th. So I guess you better get your pumpkins in there tomorrow. That's what I got. Thanks, guys.
It will be done again.
Oh, good. Okay. Great.
Okay.
For those of you like me who maybe didn't get around to carving your pumpkin or planning on repurposing it for fall decor, there will be another opportunity after Thanksgiving. All right. And now we have our report from our city manager, Mr. Martin Grandel.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. As a reminder, city offices will be closed this Friday, 10 November, in observance of the Veterans Day holiday, which falls on Saturday this year. The Red Bank, the request for proposal for a Red Bank comprehensive plan and small area study closed on 3 November. I'm pleased to report we've received 3 complete submittals. The Red Bank Community Planning Steering Committee will serve as the source selection panel and will evaluate the submittals on Wednesday, 8 November, using an established rubric, the same process we use for the Parks and Rec RFP and the Stormwater RFQ. Panel members will be Commissioner Pete Phillips, Planning Commission Chair Becky Browder, Public Works Director Greg Tate, Public Works Deputy Director Leslie Johnson, City Planner Michael Pham, Southeast Tennessee Development District Planner Ashley Gates, Parks Manager Jeffrey Gravy, your building official Eddie Clinton, and myself. That's a pretty strong team for source selection to evaluate. Ultimately, they will make a recommendation to the City Commission at your 21 November meeting for consideration for award. So that process is moving forward. On a related note, the stormwater utility assessment is also underway with Barge. The Parks Master Plan is underway with Kimley Horn. And if awarded later this evening, we will have a pavement condition index and a pavement management plan available for us to use beginning early next year. Public Works is very, very busy. Speaking of Public Works, thank you for the beautiful flags on display throughout the city, reminding us that Veterans Day is coming up. And I'll also add that our current newsletter lists the names and branches of service of all 21 members of Team Red Bank who were veterans and are making a huge impact on the city every day. The firefighters have been busy too. With a wrap on October's Fire Prevention Month, they engaged with 1,110 youth and 503 adults, and participated in numerous activities, including the UTC off-campus housing fair and the Red Bank High School Community Fair. It's been mentioned several times. That was a lot of fun for staff. Police were there, Public Works was there, many of our commissioners were there. It was quite the event. Kudos to our sisters and brothers at Red Bank High School who put that on. Speaking of fire safety, please note that the Chattanooga-Hamilton County Air Pollution Control Bureau has suspended burning in Hamilton County until further notice due to severely dry conditions and low humidity. Our police department, as was mentioned in the work session, is undergoing a reaccreditation process from the state, and the assessors will be on site this Thursday. They are evaluating our agency on 164 standards and the associated policies, and judging how we follow those policies. So the joke is, there's a policy on how to brew coffee, but the real test is, are you following the policy as you brew the coffee?
Yes.
The chief says yes, all right. I'm circulating with each of you a copy of Trust for Public Land's national publication called Land and People. And their latest issue features an article on the field, which has also been referred to as Pauper Cemetery or Potter's Field. It's a former Hamilton County cemetery, overgrown with kudzu and abandoned for over 100 years. This is not only within our city's jurisdiction, but on land largely owned by the city itself. On Sunday, 22 October, I hiked through the invasives to spend time at the field with state and national experts from the Trust for Public Land. It was a profoundly moving experience to physically walk and thoughtfully reflect on that very special place and the over 2,000 people buried there. A place which also needs our collective and thoughtful insights on where to go next with this opportunity to repair both community and nature. You can expect me and Trust for Public Land to bring a resolution forward for your consideration as we thoughtfully outline what the City of Red Bank's role may be in the coming years. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Grenham. Next, we have an open house update. I'd like to call Ms. Summer Sheldon to the stand to tell us more.
No. As Vice Mayor Dalton mentioned, open house is tomorrow from 4 to 6. We will have those from, I'm sorry, to help
Snap.
voters, yeah, SNAP. And voters registration. Shred will be there. Drug take back, property tax relief. We have a lot of information on that. Be caffeinated. We will have refreshments and pastries from them. And White Oak Bicycle Co-op will be joining us. Fire department will have trucks out there, like a touch truck. Police department will have vehicles, and so will Public Works. So that'll be fun too.
Excellent. Looking forward to it. Any questions for Ms. Sheldon? Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. We will now have a temporary adjournment of our regular meeting in order to call to order our beer board, which is the same body you see before you today. So Ms. Sheldon, when you're ready, will you please call the roll for the beer board?
Mayor Holly Berry,
Here.
Vice Mayor Stephanie Dalton,
Here.
Commissioner Jamie Fairbanks Harvey,
Here.
Commissioner Pete Phillips,
Still here.
Commissioner James Wilson.
Okay.
All right. We just have one item of new business today. Application for special event beer permit by David DiStefano, DBA Rotary Club of Breakfast, Chattanooga. Request to serve beer at Red Bank Christmas Parade and Festival on December 1st from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. Ms. Johnson.
Thank you. Before you is the application that you do require to be submitted. It has been fully vetted. The applicant is, I'll say, a repeat offender, as they were supportive of the Christmas event last year. The applicant is here. Very responsible, did a good job of describing their strategy to enforce perimeter boundaries, monitor sales, and to be vigilant with intoxicated participants. Hopefully, we won't have that issue. The applicant is here this evening.
Mr. DeStefano, thank you for joining us.
Pleasure.
Thank you for participating again on behalf of the Rotary Club for our Christmas parade. Have you read and do you understand all of our ordinances?
All of your ordinances.
Relating to special event bureau ordinance.
Now that I can attest to. Thank you.
I think if you could answer, I guess, the first question, we'd have to hire you.
Right.
Do you have anything you'd like to add or say?
I actually had the opportunity to work at this event last year. It was a lot of fun. Folks had a good time. We didn't see anything that even vaguely resembled, obsessive or how shall I say, over consumption. It could be prices helped with that.
All for a good cause.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Any questions for the applicant? No? All right. Thank you very much. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll motion to approve. I do have a question. It's just a minor thing, but I know in the application, it says Rotary Club of Chattanooga Breakfast. And in this application, it says Breakfast Chattanooga. I don't know if it matters, but I just wanted to bring that up.
We'll get that fixed in the
Okay.
permit, and it might say also known as, or it might just be correct.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll motion to approve.
All right. We have a motion from Vice Mayor Dalton. Do I hear a second?
Yeah, I'll second.
We have a second from Commissioner Phillips. Any more discussion? Any comments from the residents present? Oh, Mr. McKenzie, would you like
Can I
to?
ask a comment from here?
No, come to the podium for me.
You know the rules.
I'm McKenzie, 110 Brentwood, trying to skirt the rules. My question is regarding the perimeter where consumption will be allowed. Are we going to have the cattle pen again, or is it going to be the entire festival boundary?
Deputy
People are
Director
allowed to.
Johnson, are you prepared to answer that question?
It's my understanding it will be the festival area.
Okay,
Yes,
so we can buy a beer and then still keep visiting booths and.
yes.
Yes.
You won't be herded in like cattle.
There will not be a beer sale.
I believe that's what we did for last year's Christmas parade and festival as well, right? It was just the Jubilee last year. I think that we maybe,
Two Jubilees ago.
yes, had it set up differently.
Mr. Graham?
Thank you, Mayor. Many of you may know I am a member of the Chattanooga Breakfast Rotary Club. The Rotary Club in Chattanooga is a considerable ongoing civic organization. They have a downtown, which is largely business, meets at lunch. They have Nougat Nights, which meets in Hickson, and they're more in the evening over beer. And we are pleased in Red Bank to actually host the Red Bank. The Chattanooga Breakfast Rotary Club actually meets in Red Bank, and it's breakfast on Fridays. So there's various ways to be involved with Rotary, but I, for obvious reasons, I'm part of the Red Bank Chattanooga Breakfast Rotary Club, as is Dave. We're good buddies on Friday mornings for breakfast. And I would say anybody who wants to come out and check out, Larry also is a member as well. So come out and have breakfast with us. The Breakfast Rotary Club has provided a venue for many of us to present Red Bank affairs. The mayor and I have given a state of the city. Director Tate, Chief Seiler, and Chief Seymour have both been invited. Have all three been invited as speakers this year, Public Works, Police, and Fire, as an industry. And so the Chattanooga Breakfast Rotary Club is really a Red Bank Rotary Club.
It'll be our little secret.
It is our little secret. And Dave mentioned they do give the money back. It is a civic organization, and just one of many ways they give back here locally is they sponsor a scholarship from Red Bank High School. It's a $1,000 scholarship. And so the proceeds that come from the Jubilee help fund that. And it's one of many things that Rotary does to give back. We all know Mary Beth Sutton and Waterways. She's also a very active member of Red Bank Rotary. She champions the Interact Club, and the Interact provided a lot of the youth that came to our Red Bank Cemetery workshops, both of them. So there's a lot of good, healthy connection with the local Rotary and a lot of things that are going on in Red Bank. And of course, Sal will be proud to champion the Lions Club too. We'll have to give him his day to do that as well.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Any other comments from the residents present? If there's no more comments, then go ahead and call the vote. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Looking forward to seeing you at the Christmas parade, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we will now adjourn our beer board hearing, and we will reconvene our regular meeting. We have no unfinished business today, so we'll be moving directly on to new business. First item is resolution number 23-1626, a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the City of Red Bank, Tennessee, amending resolution 22-1542, appointing up to 10 members to the City of Red Bank Nonprofit Citizens Advisory Board. Mr. Granum.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm here very pleased. The genesis of this really goes back to our ARPA decisions that the previous commission, and we have 3 members of that previous commission here, allocated those funds to do various things. And much of what we've been doing for many of our commission meetings has been a consequence of those decisions that were made on ARPA. Digitization, digital transformation. We're here tonight to talk about the Nonprofit Advisory Board, and the commission at the time allocated $150,000 of ARPA money, and with a vision that it allocated out $50,000 a year for 3 years consecutive, so that we will get underway. This is really where the rubber meets the road on that, is appointing this Citizens Advisory Board. And Sal was here earlier this evening on the cemetery. We also have 2 other members, Hillary Evans and Kedrick Webster. If you'd like to stand up and be recognized. Thank you, Kedrick. Hillary.
And Ms. Nelson.
Thank you. Thank you both.
And
And I don't believe we have Lisanne or.
Miss Nelson is here.
Yeah, Jamie's here too.
It's Jamie Nelson. Yep. Well, thank you, Jamie. Yep. Would you like to stand up and recognize? There you go. Thank you. In many ways, these are not new to us in that they're very active in the community in a lot of ways. I am pleased to report that Lisanne is new to serving at a commission appointed level, and I'm very glad to have a new face as well as several returning members. So that's basically it, Commissioner. We have room for more if people are interested, but we are going to get underway. Page 3 of the work session packet really outlined what we're going to do. We're going to form this board. The board will convene once it's appointed tonight. The advisory board will convene and establish the criteria and scoring guidelines. And that's really already been roughed out by me, but that's just a suggestion from me to this commission, to the advisory board. They'll adopt it. And then we'll we'll put out a call for applications for these micro grants, as we're calling it. And all eligible nonprofits that meet the board's criteria will submit applications to the city, and we'll bring it back to the advisory board, and they will score them on some rubric that the advisory board will set up. And then the advisory board will make recommendations, and when they're ready, we'll bring them into you. This commission will ultimately make all those decisions based on the work that the advisory board is about to do. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll move.
We have a motion from Vice Mayor Dalton. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
We have a second from Commissioner Wilkinson. Any further discussion?
Yes, Mayor. I would just like to mention, since we have 3 of our members here, I think, and I'm sure that this will come up in conversation, but I think one of the things that was really important to us when we talked about this last year was that these are nonprofits that are directly serving our Red Bank community, our neighbors here in Red Bank, students at our schools, our neighborhoods. So I just wanted to put that out there for you all to consider as you look to scheduling a meeting and discussing criteria for those things.
Yep. Any other discussion?
Well, yeah, and it was also a good way to leverage the dollars for our citizens, so we can have these little micro grants and $1 gets 3 in benefits kind of thing. So,
That's a good point. Yeah.
You know,
If there was ever any opportunity that a nonprofit could demonstrate how our contribution could help them gain further.
And I appreciate that we have the volunteers so that we don't have to do all of the vetting. And then they come to us and it gives us a degree of separation, make sure we're good stewards of the tax dollars, you know, so.
And having different perspectives at the table. So thank you, the three of you that are here and the other two that are at home for volunteering.
Absolutely. All right, any comments from the residents present? Okay, if there's no comments, then we'll go ahead and call the vote. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much for being willing to serve. Next, we have Resolution 23-1627, a resolution of the City of Red Bank, Tennessee, Board of Commissioners authorizing the city to enter into an agreement with iWork DBA PW1 Public Works 1 for payment data collection and sign inventory collection to be entered into the city's pavement conditioning index and sign inventory software at a cost of $15,000. Director Tate.
Thank you, Mayor. Commissioners, if you will allow me, I'll just read the resolution. It's rather self-explanatory on how we got here, and it's fairly brief. In fiscal year 2023, as part of the Commission's 2022 goal to create adequate digital capacity, the Commission approved a contract agreement between the City of Red Bank, Public Works Department, and iWork Management Software to enhance its services, abilities, and to include pavement management and sign inventory management. And beginning in fiscal year 2024, the Public Works Department began a process to build a pavement conditioning index to evaluate every mile of public roads and streets in order to establish a continuous pavement plan that serves the needs of all residents and commercial properties, multimodal transportation needs, and a capital improvements plan. This pavement and whereas the pavement management and sign management software packages require streets and road data to be entered in order to build the index, and iWork has agreed to perform these tasks at a reduced cost of $15,000 and provide the necessary elements to activate the pavement conditioning index and sign management inventory with functional data compatible with the software that has already been purchased by the City of Red Bank. And whereas this expense was budgeted in fiscal year 2024 out of the State Street Aid Fund, and then the rest of it therefore be resolved by the City Commission of the City of Red Bank, Tennessee, that the purchase agreement with iWork doing business as PW1 in the total amount of $15,000 be and is hereby approved. Now, that's how we got here. We bought a software package. We didn't have anything to put in it. And so we started searching back as soon as the new budget was approved. I started making some contacts, gathering some information. There's companies out there that do this type of work. They drive around, they inventory your roads with AI technology, and they can do sidewalks and they can do all sorts of things. And while I was searching, I was getting, varying ranges of costs. And just out of the blue, a guy calls me from iWork and says, "Hey, when are you going to activate your pavement conditioning software?" And I said, I don't have anything to put in it. He said, "Well, we can do that for you." And so he quoted this price of $15,000, which was very low compared to some of the other ones that I had received. And the fact that they do it, they automatically collect it in a format that goes right into their system. Some of the other ones says, "Well, we don't know what iWorks does, but I'm sure we can convert it."
Hmm.
Well, iWorks doesn't have to do that. So it's, that's probably one of the reasons that they had this lower cost. And at the end result, we will be able to establish a pavement conditioning index on every road in the City of Red Bank, have GIS capability to present that in public sessions on the worst. It'll give us remaining service life. It'll recommend options for treatments and things so we can put that into our capital improvements plan going forward. It also does sign inventory management, so we can, collect that data and manage our sign. We had a program recently and I let it lapse because it seemed like it was just always it was hard to connect to. It was cloud-based, hard to connect to. Sometimes the data was there, sometimes it wasn't. So I didn't see the need for the city to keep paying $3,000 or $4,000 a year for hit and miss connectivity. So with this here, iWorks has proved trustworthy and dependable. And so we chose to go with that. Any your approval.
Excellent.
Sign inventory.
Yes,
Is that street signage and how many we have in Red Bank?
all of them.
Okay.
They drive around and they have a $10,000 camera that will video every sign, whether it's a speed limit sign, a yield sign, a stop sign,
Okay.
you know, dead end
No
sign.
parking.
No parking,
A
it
lot
does
more
it all.
expensive than that.
What's that?
This is actually what I do for work.
Okay.
But yeah, a lot more expensive than that.
The cameras.
Yeah, cameras, LiDAR.
Well, I just did a quick Google search when the guy said we use it. He told me some name brand.
Yeah,
And I
Trimble.
just looked up that name brand and it listed all these cameras and the cheapest one I saw was $10,000.
Oh yeah.
So, but yes, and it will provide us a database of all of our signs.
Good, we have thousands of signs, right?
Yes,
You have a
I think,
ballpark number?
I don't remember when 3M did the collection about 8 years ago. I don't know, somewhere around 12,000 comes to mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's the stop sign and, you know, a lot of our stop signs have the street sign names, you know, like Peace Street, California. It does all of that. And then it will put them in a category according to the MUTCD of what kind of sign it is, if it's a regulated sign or if it's just a city added sign. It will do all that.
You mentioned, well, I saw in the document that you included, it specifies the 72 center line
Center line miles.
miles. But you just a second ago mentioned something about sidewalks. Does this include an inventory of sidewalks? And it looks like Ms. Johnson maybe has something to say about
Well,
that.
this particular purchase here does not, we were looking
Okay,
to get pavement condition data, sidewalk inventory and sign inventory.
okay.
And she had pulled some resources from some other companies and they were low in some areas and high in other areas. But what we were able to do by going with our work and getting the pavement conditioning and the sign inventory management, which we already have software for. We don't have sidewalk inventory software yet, but those two we did, and we didn't have anything in there. But by buying these two, then she was able to locate a third party that will collect the sidewalk inventory at a level that the city manager can approve under the $10,000. In fact, I think it was way under $10,000 if I remember right. Yeah, so that will be a separate purchase. And one of the things that I was going to bring out was we had allocated $75,000 to do this based on some data that I'd received from some contacts that I questioned. And they said, oh, you ought to, you know, $75,000 to $100,000, you know. But now we're coming in at, you know, probably less than 18 total to get these three projects done.
That is absolutely incredible.
It is.
I was going to ask what the non-discounted rate was, but that's a
Well,
discount.
iWorks agreed because we already have a contract with them. We're just adding to our contract with iWorks is what we're doing for this service. And by doing that, they automatically took off the mobilization fee, which he says is a standard $4,000. So they just eliminated that because we're good customers.
Excellent. And that fee, the 15,000 fee is a one-time fee, and then you all are able to do whatever you need to do with that data after
Yes.
on your own.
Yes,
Right.
ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Great.
And we can pursue, you know, like incremental updates like every 3 to 4 years.
Mhm.
I thought we'd go through this first iteration, get the data, get it in there, see what we've got to work with. And then after we get a flow going, then we'll look, do we want to do this a 3-year cycle, 4-year cycle, 5-year cycle to keep it updated.
That's wonderful. Thank you.
Do you have anything else? Liz?
No, just the sidewalk piece is actually, it's currently underway. So hopefully in the next couple of commission meetings, we'll be able to give you an update on the multimodal goal, which will include sidewalk connectivity.
Excellent.
We're gonna see where we're missing.
And that was another thing too, that made our work more appealing. They said they could have the data start collecting the data mid-January, and they said probably 2 weeks they would have it done, have it back to the office, you know, going through whatever they do to upload it. And by the end of January, we should have everything. The other 2 or 3 companies I talked to, they were talking like, you know, March, April, May timeframes before they could even get a crew, you know, to come down. So that was a big plus.
Mhm.
Pretty exciting.
Very exciting.
All right. Well, any more questions for Director Tate? Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll move.
We have a motion from Commissioner Wilkinson. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
We have a second from Vice Mayor Dalton. Any further discussion? Just want to say thank you, Vice Mayor, for your questions. You covered what I was hoping to ask, which was, is sidewalks included? Are we going to be able to update the data ourselves once we have the initial index and that this is going to feed, you mentioned already that this is going to feed into our capital projects management to help us plan in decades out when repaving is going to need to happen and how we're going to need to budget and plan for that. So it's very exciting, something that I think a lot of us have been looking forward to for at least a couple of years now.
And we've never done this before, right?
Well,
We've
you
never
know,
done it.
if I may, we're
Please.
gonna have a stormwater inventory.
Mhm.
We're gonna have a pavement index. What else am I missing?
Our master plan.
Our master plan, we're gonna have, what else we got going on?
Facilities.
The master plan along with the parks there, a traffic study. So just, you know, it's not squandering your tax dollars, it's doing what we needed to be doing. You
Like,
know,
we're gonna-
it's almost like being a grown up. You know what I mean?
It's like we're gonna know what's
57
going
years
on in our
old.
city.
Yeah, we're almost full grown city. So,
All right.
anyway, that's just my only comment. It's just kind of like that's the progress that's moving forward. So,
It's exciting to be able to, as a commissioner who has to make difficult decisions about these things and about funding, it's really amazing to have access to better data to be able to make more informed decisions and really be good stewards of the people's resources in these different areas of service delivery that the city has. So thank you, staff, for running this one all the way to the finish line. I know it's been a long haul. Well, I mean, we're voting on it today, so as far as we're concerned.
yeah, it's your problem now.
The work ends for us and it begins for you.
Starting to get this far.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, so we have a motion and a second. Any comments from the residents present? All right, let's get that PCI online. All right, next we have Resolution 23-1628, a resolution of the City of Red Bank, Tennessee, declaring certain city-owned property as surplus and authorizing the sale, trade, donation, or destruction thereof. Deputy Director Johnson. And I
Thank you
think
very much.
Chief Seymour, are you on this one as well?
I am.
Yes, this is a 2-for-1 resolution. As you are required to do, when you have property that is either lived its life cycle, it needs to fall off of your inventory. It does need to be technically surplus by commission in the form of a resolution. This resolution details that process. The item that I'm presenting to you is the playground structure up at White Oak Park. This is continuing our efforts towards replacement with the new features, but we need to make room for it. This process will allow us to hopefully put it on govdeals.com to see if someone is actually interested in the actual old structure, which we will allow them to remove it. The deadline for removal will be the end of December. We anticipate our new structure to be delivered shortly thereafter, which we will have some site work that we need to prep in preparation of the new feature that's coming in. So we will put signage up. This passes tonight. We get it posted. We'll put signage up at the park to let people know what's happening, when the playground will come off offline, and then when we anticipate, and we'll have some pictures and images of our new structure that will go back in its place.
Do you anticipate that it might receive bids?
Yes, believe it or not, when you go on govdeals.com, there are multiple play structures that are out there, and different organizations. Sometimes you'll have nonprofit organizations. A lot of camp organizations will pick up some of the old pieces and put it into good use. Just because it doesn't serve our public use, it still has some potential life moving forward for another entity. Most likely, it's another nonprofit.
And what website did you say that was called?
Govdeals.com.
Gov Deals, okay.
GOVDEALS.com.
And that's where all of our surplus equipment goes.
Correct.
So I also received a citizen question by email a while back about what might happen to our old streetlights that were replaced in the process of the signalization, and received a similar answer from Public Works. If they're disposed of, they'll end up on GovDeals.
Correct.
Well, thank you very much, Deputy Director. Chief Seymour, would you like to add anything?
I said we just hang a for sale sign on.
Okay.
Nice bit. My portion just has to do with unclaimed property. It's not property of the city. It's just property that we don't know who the owner is. People call or turn in property, or somebody that, well, if they're arrested, they know their property. But this is just we can't locate the owners, so all this, our property will be destroyed, so it won't be so no deals or anything, so. We just need somebody to sign off on it.
Okay. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll move. No, go ahead, or I'll second then.
Okay, we have a motion from Commissioner Fairbanks Harvey. We have a second from Commissioner Phillips. Any further discussion? It's a matter of course, we've seen a lot of these come before us. Any comments from the residents present? There are no more comments. We'll call the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next up is Resolution 23-1629. A resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the City of Red Bank, Tennessee, authorizing the purchase of 39 new firefighting turnout coats and pants from Tennessee Fire Equipment in the total amount of $117,695 for the fire department. Chief Seiler.
Mayor, Commissioners, this is one of the goals that I spoke about at the last meeting. We are finally ready to start that process, and this allows us to buy 39 sets and spend $117,000, and this is just a part of the piece.
That's just hiring the cats back, ain't it?
It's about a little over $3,000 just a set.
And how many feet's in a set?
One.
No, I mean 1 foot?
No, the set is a coat and pants.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Coat and pants.
I haven't gotten to the hose yet.
Yeah, that's the whole-
Oh, yeah.
In the boots.
This is what allows us to get our second set of turnout gear.
The longer we wait, the more expensive it gets.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll move.
We have a motion from Vice Mayor Dalton. Do I hear a second?
Second that one.
We have a second from Commissioner Wilkinson. Any further discussion?
I just want to say I'm very excited about you all getting the second set of turnout gear to help keep you better protected from all of the very nasty things that you're exposed to when you're keeping our community safe. So thank you.
Long overdue. Any comments from the residents present? All right, if there's no more comments, then we'll call the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have Resolution 23-1630. A resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the City of Red Bank, Tennessee, authorizing a contract with Tennessee Fire Equipment to purchase 2,000 feet of 1.7-inch attack hose, 2,000 feet of 2.5-inch fire hose, 4 25-foot sections of 5-inch supply hose, and 4 25-foot sections of 3-inch supply hose in the amount of $23,024 for the Red Bank Fire Department. Chief Seiler.
So this is a start to replace the 19,000 feet of fire hose that we currently have in inventory, with about over half of it reaching its end of life. So this is a start in a process to kind of phase it in segments. So in 20 years, it doesn't all have to be purchased at one time.
And I believe you said that just at the most recent fire, you had a hose burst.
Yes, ma'am.
So we're timely, a little behind, but timely to
It's
get
all
this
right.
going.
That actually happens quite frequently at fires. Fire burns things, and sometimes hoses get drove through fires. It's a part of the job,
Part of the
unfortunately.
job.
But like I was telling Commissioner Wilkinson earlier, 4 years ago, pre-COVID, this was half this cost.
And,
Same amount.
and I expect it'll keep going up.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
cheaper to buy it now than next year.
Yes.
Although I believe we'll have to be buying it
In 2
every
years.
year,
Every other year.
for quite some time to get our whole hose cycled through.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll move.
A motion from Commissioner Fairbanks Harvey and a second from Commissioner Wilkinson. Any further discussion? Any comments from the residents present? If there's no more comments, then we'll go ahead and call the vote. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. We have a busy day for Chief Seiler. Next, we have Resolution 23-1631, a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the City of Red Bank, Tennessee, authorizing a contract with Tennessee Fire Equipment to purchase 39 new pairs of firefighting turnout boots in the amount of $21,645 for the Red Bank Fire Department.
Mayor, Commissioners. This is the third piece of the puzzle. So you have the turnout pants, the turnout coats, that's one. You have the boots, that's one. You have the hoods, which we've already bought and received. And then you have the gloves. Well, those actually come in under the amount that we have to bring for you to get approved. So this is the final piece of the puzzle for that second set of turnout gear. And so the boots are $555 a pair. So that's what this bid, that's what this is for tonight.
So your firefighter souls don't melt onto the burning
Absolutely.
structure.
And once you go into a burning structure, those boots have to be cleaned just like the turnout gear and everything. So while they're being cleaned, you still have that second set with that new gear, that second set of gear that's clean for the boots also.
Have to imagine that boots take a while to dry.
Yes.
All right. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll move.
We have a motion from Vice Mayor Dalton. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
We have a second from Commissioner Wilkinson. Any further discussion?
Boy, firefighters are expensive. I mean, they
Protecting
are.
your community from fire is
Yeah,
expensive.
Well, I mean, you talk about $1 million bumper truck, and they're expensive.
Mhm.
Tell you worst day of your life.
Well, if you want to know where your taxpayer dollars go.
Yeah.
I do have a question, if you don't mind. Have you had any trouble with fires in brush lately? Okay, good, okay. I know. And I hope we don't.
Yes.
Just as a reminder, there's a burn ban,
Yes.
right, currently.
Great opportunity to remind everybody about the burn ban mentioned earlier. No bonfires, even though our crisp fall weather is so beautiful right now. All right, so we have a motion and a second. Any comments from the residents present? There's no more comments, so we'll call the vote. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, next we have Resolution 23-1632, a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the City of Red Bank, Tennessee, authorizing the purchase of 2 in-car camera kits from Axon Enterprises, Inc. in the amount of $20,730 for the police department. Chief Seiler. Chief Seymour, I'm sorry. I've gotten on repeat as I've heard from Chief Seiler so many times. Chief Seymour.
You got your superstar.
It's okay.
Please go ahead.
I realize where I won't. They asked me to keep this short, but I don't know that I can. No, this is to add our in-car cameras to vehicles that we're ordering for the 2 added positions. So this will add it to our current infrastructure of in-car videos. This covers up the remaining part of our agreement of probably about 4 more years for that. So it pays for that. This also, the funding for this is coming from a grant through the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. So we try to do that when we can. But for this year, so that's why we had to wait on it a little bit, but I also need to order them before I get the cars because prices go up in January. So, but anyway, so that's what this is for.
All right. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll move.
We have a motion from Vice Mayor Dalton. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
We have a second from Commissioner Wilkinson. Any further discussion?
Yeah, I want to apologize to the fire department because police department's expensive too. Other than that. Yeah. Well, you got 2.
You've had your day.
They got 39 boots.
Mayor, I do have one question. You said that it's coming from the grant fund, but there is a match or an allocation from the general fund, according to this resolution, in the amount of $4,330. I just wanted to clarify that.
So the intent, yes. So good question. So I apologize for that. The intent is to take it out of the Tennessee Highway Safety Office grant.
Mhm.
When we first planned for the cameras, we thought they were less expensive than what they are. So right now, on paper, the plan is to take some general fund money if we need to. But we can't alter the grant. That's our intent, is to alter the grant. If we can alter the grant, they allow us to do that. Sometimes they do that. Then we'll use the grant funds for that. But if not, we have the money budgeted, available in the general fund.
Okay.
So yes, thank you. I was not trying to be misleading.
Oh, no.
So
I just wanted to make sure I was understanding
Yes,
that correctly.
yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Thank So you.
Yes.
It's stated in a worst case scenario, sort of.
Yes, well, correct. Right. I figured you wouldn't mind
using grant money for all of it, you know.
Excellent. Thank you, Chief.
Yeah.
All right, any further discussion or questions for the chief? All right, any comments from the residents present? If there are no more comments, we'll call the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Our final resolution tonight is number 23-1633, a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the City of Red Bank, Tennessee, proclaiming Saturday, November 25th, 2023, Small Business Saturday within the city of Red Bank, Tennessee. Ms. Sheldon, I think you have the resolution for us. Would you mind reading that for
I don't.
all present? Thank you.
You're very welcome. Okay, and I'll start from the top. A resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the City of Red Bank, Tennessee, proclaiming Saturday, November 25th, 2023, Small Business Saturday within the City of Red Bank, Tennessee. Whereas the City Commission of the City of Red Bank, Tennessee celebrates our local small businesses and the contributions they make to our local economy and community. According to the United States Small Business Administration, there are 33.2 million small businesses in the United States. They represent 99.7% of all firms with paid employees in the United States, are responsible for 62.7% of net new jobs created from 1995 to 2021. And whereas small businesses employ 46.4% of the employees in the private sector in the United States, consumers are more eager to support small businesses, small business communities in this post-COVID economy, and small business owners are still working to make up the revenue lost throughout the pandemic. And whereas 96% of consumers who shop on Small Business Saturday agree that shopping at small, independently owned businesses supports their commitment to making purchases that have a positive social, economic, and environmental impact. And 97% of consumers who shop on Small Business Saturday agree that small businesses are essential to their community. And whereas 95% of consumers who shop on Small Business Saturday record the day makes them want to shop or eat at small, independently owned businesses all year long, not just during the holiday season. And whereas the City Commission of the City of Red Bank, Tennessee supports our local businesses that create jobs, boost our local economy, and preserve our communities. And whereas advocacy groups, as well as public and private organizations across the country, have endorsed the Saturday after Thanksgiving as Small Business Saturday. Now, therefore, it be resolved that the City Commission of the City of Red Bank, Tennessee, does hereby proclaim November 25th, 2023, as and urges the residents of our community and communities across the country to support small businesses and merchants on Small Business Saturday and throughout the year. Resolved this 7th day of November 2023.
Thank you very much, Ms. Sheldon.
Thank you.
Do I hear a motion to approve?
I will move.
We have a motion from Vice Mayor Dalton. Do I hear a second?
I'll second that one.
We have a second from Commissioner Wilkinson. Any further discussion? Since we're talking about, go ahead.
Oh, no.
Since we're talking about Small Business Saturday, we have, of course, dozens of amazing independently owned small businesses in Red Bank that you can patronize in the coming months and up to the holidays. But we happen to have one of our small business owners here in the building with us, Miss Peggy Rowe of Vintage and More. So please consider visiting Vintage and More. And speaking of the way that small businesses and their owners contribute to our community, she is one of the volunteers of our festival advisory committee. So thank you, Ms. Rowe, for being here and for your business.
And for being a resident of Red Bank
Yes.
for many, many years.
All the more. All right. Any further discussion? All right. If there is no more, any comments from the residents present? Okay. If there are no more comments, let's call the vote. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. November 25th is Small Business Saturday. You heard it here first, so shop local. All right, now we've reached the time for citizen comments for items not on the agenda. Mr. Granum?
Thank you, Mayor. This is the time for citizen comments. Please observe these rules for citizen comments. Comments are limited to 3 minutes or less, and the city recorder will operate the timer visible on the dais. Please respect her direction and include any comments if time expires. Comments should be addressed to the board as a whole and not to a particular commissioner, city staff, or the audience. The commission is here to listen, not to respond or engage in back and forth. So please do not expect a reply during public comment. At this time, citizens are invited to the podium to comment. Please begin by stating your name and address.
I'll go first.
Come
Maybe Road 3102 Easton Avenue. I got 3 things written down here. I would like to see about getting some trash cans on Dayton Boulevard. I'm talking about not the blue cans, something kind of fancy from the park, maybe down to Ashland Terrace. We pick up a lot of trash that people just throw. And to me, that kind of adds, we used to have barrels out there with the planters, something like that, that would work for the trash. That, to me, sounds like something reasonable. I would like to thank Public Works. Their guys this summer worked their tails off in very, very unusual hot weather for Red Bank, Tennessee. And I'm very thankful to them. And I tell the guys every time I see them down there. And I just want to comment on how friendly and nice that they are. So
They are.
Also, can we check on getting those ugly orange barrels off of Dayton Boulevard since the lights are up? Is there any way by, Thanksgiving maybe, or definitely by Christmas, because they look awful. They've been sitting there. I keep moving them out of the way. He asked me one time and I said, I just moved them, but there's no reason to have them if they're not working anymore. I know that's the state, I think, highway, isn't it?
It's a city project.
It's a city project. Okay, can you get them out?
There's still some work to be done.
Well, put them behind my building. No, that was all I really have. I'm just trying to clean up the area a little bit, so.
Thank you very much, Ms. Rowe. Any other comments for items not on the agenda? Okay, if there are no more comments, then do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Wait a minute, I have a couple.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Excuse
Go
me.
ahead.
I have a couple of comments. There are a couple of costs that have been brought to my attention. One is a survey that we've been asked to fill out that's by a company, and I was not aware of any investment that we had made to purchase that. The second is installing Christmas decorations. Is that under your auspices, Mr. Tate?
Yes.
Okay, so was there any additional city funds to pay for installing that, or is Public Works? It's part of our job, a part of your job, part of our city.
It's part of our city, but there was funds to cover.
Okay,
Projects like that.
okay. I didn't know if that was approved by us or just part of your choices that you.
It was just part of our choices.
Good,
You know, we decorate every year. We have money that we use for decorations every year. And it was at a procurement level that didn't have to go beyond my level.
Good.
For that.
Okay, all right.
Just for clarification, for anything that's a purchase from any of our departments that's under $10,000 does not have to come before the Board of Commissioners.
Good, okay.
Staff approval.
All right, thank you.
All right, any other, we had I was calling for a motion to adjourn.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, she has the right to speak.
Yeah.
You know,
You can repeat a standing motion.
Oh, yeah.
I'll move.
Okay. We have a motion from Commissioner Phillips. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
We have a second from Vice Mayor Dalton. All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.
Thank you.
all.
Pete, you're always like
Yeah.
dependable, ready. You were very
Yes.
dependable with that.
He's ready.
Yeah.
He's ready on that end and I interrupted.
Definitely.
Sorry.
Well, I want him to know